So I'm about to try to explain this invasion from another perspective, so I can have a better understanding of how things are really happening right now. But first, you must accept that we all been living a lie. If you don't know, the United States corporation has been committing fraud against our whole country. This is a UCC statement, which is a claim of lien, filed in 2011, just before Queen Elizabeth, which is Lilith, prevented Earth reset, which reversed time and caused a Mandela effect. They've been doing everything possible to extend their time and figure out how to prevent their fate. So it says United States of America Department of Defense and the United States of America Department of Homeland Security has interest with the Federal Reserve System, which is $14.3 trillion, and it's labeled in the trust 15 USC. That's where all those codes come from. And the trustee is E pluribus unum, and it has 14 trillion, those funds from the Treasury. This is the reason you see those corporation names on your debt notes. Most of us will call them dollar bills. Like, have you ever thought about how can you pay a debt with a debt or a bill with a bill? You can't. You see, what they did was work with banks to use the Treasury to withdraw your funds from your SQB trust. This is why you have a social security number. But the issue is the bank or the corporation holds your funds and then make you pay back what they owe you. So this is why they want you to use debt notes, which is negative value owned by the Federal Reserve. So technically, it's like paying off their debt. For instance, you remember those stimmy checks? Let's say they was $1,500, right? To keep it simple, once you sign that and put it into the bank, they take the positive value out of your Treasury account and give you a negative value of 1,500 debt notes. So now, let's say you use 100 of those debt notes at Walmart, which they would probably add on a 15% tax. So now you be owing 115 now on a positive balance. So when you pay for that, it'll be negative 115, which would be $115 bills or debt notes. It literally says it on the money. That includes USD for cards. So basically, the banking system is helping them commit fraud by not telling us about the conversions or the true way the banking system actually works. So here's the issue. At the end of 2019, they already reached a $14 trillion in debt. Ironically, right before the pandemic started. Somehow, since then, we over doubled to $33 trillion plus dollars. It increased by 19 trillion between 2020 and now. And it seems like they've done it on purpose. So basically, once they went over that 14 trillion, the game should have been over, because they literally placed the financial system on top of the real financial system. But anyways, this is the addendum right here, and it shows the United States Department of Defense and Financing and Accounting Services as a trustee and receiving the other $300 billion. They are also working with the North American Water and Power Alliance. But I want y'all to notice how the way it says United States Department of Defense, and this says the United States of America Department of Defense. These are two different entities, and this can only mean one of two things, because along with their $14 trillion, they place liens on all real men with hands and legs and all real land in the United States of America. This is why I say we are a lien to them, but y'all will say aliens. We are in vessels, that's why they consider it a estate. For instance, have you ever heard the term illegal alien? It means it's an unregistered lien. So what they're doing with the people now that's crossing over is registering them as new liens. In other words, taking ownership of them. They obviously have no clue of the corruption going on here, and they may do whatever needed for the people they believe to help them. We all know what Stockholm Syndrome is. Everyone in America is suffering it or suffered it at some point in time. So while they're trying to create more value with their new liens, they want to decrease the debt by getting rid of old liens and reclaiming the property of that lien. So earlier when I mentioned the United States of America, I'm not sure if it represents another one of their companies, which would mean this would be one of the most fraudulent setups known in mankind history. Or it could represent us, the people. We always had the right to do what we need to do to remain free and independent. But either way it goes, everything has been manipulated to come to this particular ending we're at right now. So I know y'all hear about all the bombings in Israel, how everybody's saying it's a biblical prophecy, right? Specifically when they say the army surrounds Jerusalem, the end is near. But people tend to forget that we live in ancient Egypt, and all of those cities are here. But everybody want to refuse to believe this, so they choose to focus on what they're seeing overseas instead of right here at home, because they are literally surrounding us right now. We are the Egyptians that were enslaved. The Sumerians are the Greys that helped the RTs to enslave us. They are our real enemies. But again, people will refuse to believe this. But everyone that's watching this will have no choice but to believe the unbelievable real soon. As I always mention, 2025 is the last year of this reality, meaning we don't have much time if you like it or not. That also means they're running out of time to re-legion you. So whenever they make their move, they literally cannot stop because they have to get everybody's minds at a point to where it's uncomprehendable. So definitely get mentally prepared for things to come. Anyways, be gods. Hey.